Okay, so one of the things I've been doing is putting my paintings that I like, which is about 1 in 5 at the moment, into a frame and putting it on the wall so I can sit and look at it while I'm watching television and things. And what happens after a little while is the flaws start to jump out at you, which isn't great, but it does make you, I think, a more critical painter. And the other thing it does is it really, when you're in the middle of painting something, you don't see it as far away as you would if you were sitting on the sofa looking at a painting on the wall. So things jump out at you after a while. And I've got 3 paintings here, and I thought it might be useful for you to see what I think I've done wrong and whether I think I can fix them. And then I'm going to have a go at fixing them, which might ruin the painting, because they say never go back to your painting. But at this stage in my painting career, I think it's not a big deal, is it? You know, because they're not masterpieces, and if I ruin one, then I can always paint it again, can't I? Actually, I don't think I could paint this one again, because this was very free and expressive, and I think I would have to paint a whole other picture again, but I could try with the same colour scheme, I suppose. So this is a picture of Stupa, and it's basically a storm over Stupa, and it's very, very abstract. There are the 3 promontories coming down, and there is off in the distance the other peninsula, which you can see at a distance there. There's a little hint here of the harbour arm, but I didn't want to put that in this picture because it really does dominate once you put it in. So yeah, so what has been bothering me about this picture is this bit right here. It's too blocky, I think. It doesn't fade as nicely as that bit there. So I think I'm going to try and use a bit of either scraping out or using one of my trusty synthetic brushes. It's probably not that one. I've got one that's a little bit more robust. Let's try that one. I've got one, yes, I've got one where the bristles stick out, so I have to be careful not to use that side. I must cut them off. So basically I could try taking out with some damp on the brush and a tissue to pull it across. And then if that doesn't work, I could try scraping out. Or if I don't want to worry too much about putting too much water on there and it looking muddy, which I really am trying to avoid with this one, because it was pretty much my first painting that didn't have any mud in it. So I want to try and avoid that. So I might try, I did a bit of scraping out here, as you can see. Here I managed to do, you know, by painting not up to the landscape, I managed to keep the line of light there. But I really just want to take this back a bit. So I'm going to take it out of its frame, and let me just show you what I've been doing. I've been buying all my frames from a junk shop locally, who has an endless supply of gold frames, which is good. And what I've been doing is I've been taking the backs off, and I've been taking all those little metal pins out, which, I mean, really, what are they for? They're sort of, I don't know how you even get them in. But the point is I'm saving them in case I do realise they're for something important. But what I've been doing is taping the back on again after putting my pictures in, because I knew that I wanted to be able to come and change the paintings whenever I wanted to. So yeah, so I can quite easily just take the tape off. The most annoying thing is having to unscrew these each time, but really it's a work of minutes, so what am I complaining about? Right, let's look at the next one. This is the one I did yesterday, and you've possibly seen the video for this. And essentially, I quite liked it. I came away from it thinking I hadn't done anything too terrible. Really liked my new turquoise from Daniel Smith. Turquoise cobalt blue, that is. But I realised that there's no, well, I wanted to get all this fuzzy, that's fuzzy, happy accident there, I like that. But I realised there's no sort of light or highlight or anything on this. And in a way I didn't want there to be. I wanted it to be basically fading into the background, but I'm not sure it does that effectively yet. So what I might do, oh, and the worst error of all is I forgot to put the sun in. So my ex-husband, when he saw this picture, said, what's that orange thing in the sky? I said, it's the sunset. He said, well, where's the sun? I was like, okay, you got me. There is no sun. So I'm going to try and take out a little tiny sun in the middle of that. And I might even swoop some dark across the top. And one of the paintings I did like this, I think it's on the back of this actually, I think I've got them both in there. It had, I did a glaze, I think you call it, of orangey pale, sort of orangey, pale brown, and it really took the buildings down nicely. And everyone who's seen that picture said they really like the way the buildings look like they're fuzzed by this sort of glaze. So I might even have a go at that. Because what's the worst that can happen? I have to paint it again. It's not going to be the end of the world, is it? Okay, so that's that one, and this is my most favourite painting I've done so far. It's the second version of Corfu House by John Singer Sargent, who I absolutely love. And something's happened here, and I don't know what's gone wrong there. I've made the flagstones flatter than they are in his picture because they look very you know, raised up at the back and like you couldn't walk along them. But then somehow I've come along and put this dark here, and I've put this blue here, and it's made the earth recede, so it's made it look like these flagstones, when you're sitting on the sofa, it looks like the flagstones are up elevated on a sort of bank of earth, and it all falls away here and falls away here, and I think that must be because of the dark colours making that recede. So I think I might do a glaze or a wash across this bit of something sienna-esque or umber-esque. Still don't know the difference between those two really. Must put them on a sheet of paper and have a look sometime. And then try and take this back a bit so that it doesn't look like such a big drop off, because it's making it look vertical, which is a useful thing to notice, because if I ever want to make anything look vertical, I can do that. So let's get them out of the frames and let's see what else I can do. The other thing was, I got the roof slightly wrong on this. It's far too, there's far too much roof. I'm very hesitant to touch this though, because you know, these are leaves that I don't dislike. And if you know me and trees, you'll know that that's quite interesting, that I don't dislike the foliage. Overworked here, unfortunately. Sea's quite, yeah, the cloud's all right, sea's too dark, overworked. The other thing I might do is try and just take it back a bit here, because that's a bit too strong, and take it back a bit here. That's too strong too, but I don't know, we'll see. I don't want to add anything, because this actually works really well when you're sitting on the sofa looking at it from a distance. It actually looks like sunshine and dappled light, so I don't want to ruin this picture, but I would like to just have a go at taking this back a bit. Okay, let's get the screws out, get the backs off, and let's have a go, shall we? Okay, so I've zoomed in a bit, quite a lot actually, just so you can actually see what I'm doing. And I'm just looking at what might be best to do here and here, because I've just realised that bit's a bit clunky as well. Trying not to obsess about those two bits, so this is the bit that bothers me when I'm sitting on the sofa. So let's try some water removal and see how likely that is to work. And if not, we'll go on to the scraping out method. Oh, hang on. That's quite easy. Will it look better? That's another matter, but that is quite easy. Don't want them to look too organised, you know what I mean? Let's try it here, as I'm having so much success. Come from the other side this time. Oh. Okay, interesting. The trick is now not to go too mad with this, but I think we could do another one down here. Let's try and take that back a little bit. Okay, I think that might not look too annoying when I'm on the sofa. Perhaps one more there. Trick is knowing when to stop. Okay, I think that's quite a success. Let's give you the sofa eye view. I think that's definitely worked. That has definitely worked. That's made it less blocky looking. Do I carry on and do one or two over here? Don't want to get too carried away now, do we? Okay, one more, then I will stop. Okay, I think that's good. And I'm happy because it's going to make for a better sofa viewing experience. Okay, on to the next one. Why stop while we're winning? Now, this one was the problem in that it was a little bit too not fuzzy enough there, and it didn't have a sun. So that's what I'm going to aim for first. Make sure there's no blue on the brush. And try and take it out. Oh, big dab of water there. Do be careful of drips. What we don't want is a bloom around the sun. Is that enough to suggest it? Might be. Let's just try coming at it from the other angle. Better. I think it's better. Now, am I going to try and fuzz these out a bit? Let's try with this one. Hardly any water on this. These nylon brushes don't hold much water. Possibly better. The other thing I felt looking at this when I was on the sofa was that there wasn't much contrast. I deliberately didn't put in anything too dark, like lots and lots of gondolier poles, because I think people doing Venice definitely overdo that. But I do think it needs something more dark. My trusty little brush here. Something dark brown perhaps along here. Softening it a bit. And same again for the purple perhaps. Mustn't ruin my happy accident. Soften it a bit. Okay, I like that. And I quite like that. Oh, I'm tempted to put a pole in now. Don't do it, Nicola. Don't do it. Anything else I can do around here to give it a little bit more oomph? It'll just pull it forward if I do it. No, I'm not going to do it. Resist, resist. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. What do you think? Tell me in the comments below whether I've improved these paintings or ruined them. Should we have one more go at that sun? Or should I put some yellow into it? Oh, if I do that, it could ruin it. No, I'm going to leave it as it is. Let's crack on with the other one. Now, version 1 of the Corfu house. Nice and neat and tidy, but way too neat and tidy. I didn't overwork any of that, so that's something to learn, isn't it? But this looks flat, doesn't it? This looks flat. And is that because the paint stripes are going that way? Perhaps. Let's see if we can do something with this. I'm going to use my flat brush. And am I going to knock it back first? Let's try and knock it back first, shall we? Especially here. Might not be going to work at this time, so let's just paint over. This is when you realise you haven't sprayed your palette before you started. To make it so muddy looking though, isn't it? I do love this colour. I don't know what it is. It's not light red, that's over there. But whatever this is, it's very, very nice. Now this may work, it may not, but it won't ruin it because it's bothering me, that thing. I think that's worked there. Now I need some. Of course, I'm not looking at the original. Should have looked at the original to see what JSS did. Oh no, that's making it go downwards again. Well, not sure is the answer. Let's add some of this along here. Well, to my eye, it sort of looks better, but we'll see when I'm on the sofa. Right, let's do the final thing, which is to try and knock some of this back. Dirty looking. Oh God, fingerprints. And again. Try and soften this edge a bit. I think that's better, and I think that's better. Okay. So that's better and that's better, I think. Can't do anything about over here. Oh, perhaps could take some lines out in the sea, that might help. Marginally. Okay, but marginal improvements are what we'll take. Okay, well I hope you agree with me that things have improved a bit. Let me know in the comments.